I want to tell you a story today. Let's go back to July of 2012. Zach Rowe is 12 years old. He's on a camping trip in San Mateo County at a park called Memorial. It's a camping ground just like the camping grounds that you've been to all over the state. It's got bear boxes and lockers for food. It's got picnic tables, fire pits, a watering hole across the street. It's got a road that leads in. It's got restrooms. It's got some lights. It's got showers. Zach is 12. He's on a 5-day vacation with his family. He's sharing a tent with his 11-year-old little cousin. It's 5 in the morning. Suddenly, kaboom! A huge sound like an airplane crash is heard all around the camp. A 72-foot tree, a tan oak tree, weighing some 5,000 pounds, has fallen directly on a picnic table and Zach's tent. The family rushes out. His cousin rushes out of the tent. They think Zach is fine. Zach. His mom, Michelle, rushes in. She had rented the campground for the 5 days. Zach says, "Mom, my legs feel like jelly. I can't move." And there's blood everywhere. They quickly call 911. They ask for an air ambulance. Of course, it's too foggy out there. So he has to wait for an ambulance. This is a courageous young man. He gets to Stanford Hospital, where he'll spend the next 3.5 months. At Stanford, he undergoes 34 surgical procedures. His brain is fine. That's the great news. The terrible news is they have to amputate his right leg above the hip, his right buttocks, and his right pelvis. He will always need diapers and a colostomy bag. Zach is 12 years old. After months of surgery and therapy at Stanford, he gets transferred to Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, where he spends the next 4 months. This is an unbelievable, courageous guy. Through no fault of his own, his life is forever changed. So it sounds like a good case, right? This tree had all kinds of armorillia. I'm sure you know that natural fungus called armorillia. They had had a DNA test, and that's what all agreed had caused the tree to fall. So when Tim TIETJEN's in the middle of discovering this case, and he's taking hundreds of depositions, we have another case in the office called Alana M. Alana was 3 years old in a campground owned by the state of California when a huge 80-foot tree fell on top of her, causing a terrible brain injury. So Tim and Cynthia McGuinn have about $350,000, $400,000 in that case. What stands larger than the tallest tree you can imagine is the fact that there is a governmental immunity, section 831.2, that says if the injury occurs because of a natural condition of unimproved property, no liability, no matter how negligent. And so Tim and Cynthia face an MSJ, and that other case, Alana M., lose that. They lose the appeal. So now it's 2017, and it looks like Zach Rowe's case is also gone. So Tim, once he gets the DNA results, plugs in his laptop, reads every single scientific article he can find about armorillia. It's caused when there's soil compaction and the tree roots are deprived of nutrients. And Tim figured we can get around this because we got a little tiny kernel in the Alana M case that said the state of California is let off the hook because they didn't create, contribute, or cause the tree to fall. So Tim figures there's a little tiny window that he's going to use, and he spends the next 1.5 years discovering and finds 46 things that the county of San Mateo had done that caused the soil to be compacted, the tree roots to die. tree roots expand. If a tree's 70 feet tall, the roots go out about 60 feet in all directions. There was a road 20 feet away. There was a picnic table. There were restrooms. There was a PG&E power line. So Tim comes up with the theory, and he calls his team of experts. He's got a botanist. He's got an arborist. And he says, do you think all that the county of San Mateo did could have caused the tree roots to die and could have made the trees susceptible to armorlilia? They say yes. So Tim fights the MSJ with that information. Stephen Delina of San Mateo County denies the MSJ. The case goes up on appeal. Tim wins the appeal. A brilliant brief by Jerry Clausen. So what happens? The case proceeds towards trial. Tim's got a ton of experts in every field: prosthetics, life care planners, liability. While the case is on appeal, after the appeal has been won by Tim against the county of San Mateo, he faces a MSJ by PG&E saying that the recreational use immunity releases PG&E from liability. He beats that. The case settles for $47.5 million shortly before trial, believed to be the largest single settlement for a plaintiff before trial. This was in San Mateo County, and those of you who practice there know how terribly conservative that venue is. A $47.5 million settlement in that county, like JFK said in Cape Cod, a high tide rises all boats. So that decision is used by lawyers all over the state. Remember, there was no brain injury. This was lower extremity. So the obstacles, 24 appellate decisions, all bad. Tim got past it, got 2 published opinions that plaintiffs can use as their template, their blueprint for success, to get around 2 immunities. And Lori's giving me the time sign. Please vote for Tim TIETJEN. Thank you.